Trinity again. As you know, we're not having Trinity class on Wednesday nights because we're still in the middle of a pandemic and we don't want to be all up in each other's space as we work on these martial arts exercises. But I still want to give you some sort of tidbit that you can use to empower the meditations that we do on Wednesday night. This week we are meditating on the energy of sacredness. And I wanted to give you a little something that you could use before or after your meditation to help ground that energy as you meditate on it. Sacredness is hard to put your finger on. It's kind of a very airy-fairy sort of energy. Most of us think of sacredness as something that you achieve in moments of pure spirituality after a church service or a long meditation, or maybe at a very sacred moment like a wedding or something like that. But really it would be good if you could live with sacredness during your average mundane sort of events. If you're washing the dishes, you might want to be in sacredness. If you get into an altercation with somebody and they cut you off in traffic, that might be a moment for sacredness. But it's not going to happen if you think of it only as this thing that I achieve after an hour-long meditation. So I want to give you a little quicker access to sacredness. The thing that came to me was a technique that I learned in a self-defense class many, many years ago in college. It was based on the idea that if somebody wants to attack you, it's probably not going to be, here we go, here comes the punch, you see it coming from a mile away. They're going to be talking to you, they're going to be up in your face, they'll be like, oh, look at that, a dachshund, and wham, and they hit you, because nobody really wants a fair fight. They want to ambush you. So you're going to have a split second to react, and a lot of standard blocks and parries and stuff like that, they're not going to happen in a split second. Somebody's hand's already up here and they're pointing to something and then they shove it into your face. You've got, this much time. Hopefully you should already have your hands up, but if your hands are somewhere around here, you can take care of most blows to the head with this sort of technique. It looks like you're combing your hair. If I throw that punch and you go, you block that punch. It comes like this and you just kind of catch it right about 2 inches from your nose and kind of brush your hair. Woo. Very simple. Here comes something, a slap, a punch, whatever, you just like that. You're talking, got your hands up, here's another punch, you're like that. Somebody tries to poke your eyes, you're like that. Just that simple little hair comb is your best last second, oh my gosh, it's already happening sort of block. It's much better than some of the traditional martial arts that teach you to cover up or parry that thing or block it or block up. That stuff works if you have time to see it coming, but a lot of times you don't. A lot of times it's an ambush, and this is about all you can do. Why is that important? Well, because sacredness is most often defeated in your life by your need to be special. Your ego, your lower sense of yourself, wants you to stand out from the crowd, to do great things, to get praised and noticed, to never be wrong, to always be loved, to always have the answer and do everything right. And it has thousands of little deflections to keep you from being wrong or being noticed in the wrong way. We all learn that you don't volunteer in class, you keep your head down and hope that the teacher doesn't call on you. You don't volunteer for jury duty. You keep out of the way because you only want to stand out in moments where you are the king, where everybody looks at you and says, oh, that's awesome, that's so great. We just want our ego to be praised and never criticized and never called upon to do something it doesn't feel confident in. And it keeps us out of sacredness, because sacredness is the pure essence of your spirit. It is your divinity. It is the physical expressions of your divinity. And you can't be thinking of your pure divine essence if you're only worried about, did I look good or not? That's the thing that most often defeats our sense of sacredness, is our need to be special. The best way I know to dissolve that is to feel your aura. We do an exercise in Trinity class very often where we rub our hands together for about a minute and a half or so, and we breathe, and we get that breath to flow through the hands and form this little circle. And after you do that a while, you have a sense of the energy in your body. You can kind of feel it between your hands. You can feel it in your chest. You can even feel it on somebody else. You can put your hands out and feel their aura. It's usually about 6 to 18 inches away from their body. And you can feel that they are an energy being. And if you could feel that in every moment, that they're an energy being and I'm an energy being, there wouldn't be this need to look good and be special, because you're divine. That's better than special. Sacred is really better than special. And if you could feel your energetic self all the time and their energetic self, it would be so much easier to stay in that energy of sacredness, to think of it as just how I am, not something I achieve after long meditation. But unfortunately, if you just put your hand on your arm, you probably don't feel your aura, probably don't feel it here. But if you run it past your hair, I bet you feel something. I bet you can kind of feel an energy field around your head. It's the easiest way I know to feel your own aura. There's something about these upper chakras that are a little stronger, and you're a little more sensitive. You've trained yourself from birth not to just grab at your face, not to poke at your face. You're very sensitive and careful around your face. You don't want to poke your own eye or leave a mark on your makeup or anything like that. So you approach your face almost on a habitual level with very sensitive energy. And so when you rub your hand past your hair, you're feeling this aura that exists all around you. Even without preparation, even without rubbing your hands or breathing or getting into a meditative state, you can just run your hand past your head and you feel a little tingle, like you just touched something. It's a super quick and easy way to remind yourself, I'm an energy being. I'm divine light. I don't need to be special. I don't need to look right. I don't need to have the answer or do it perfectly and have everybody praise me. I don't need to be the most liked person in the room. All of that stuff pulls you into your ego. It pulls you into your need to be special, and it pulls you away from a sense of sacredness. So next time you're confronting a situation where you feel kind of worried that you're going to look bad, or you feel attacked by somebody else's criticism, or you're confronted with this problem you don't know how to fix, do this. Number one, it's going to teach you a very good self-defense technique for a last-ditch effort when you really need to block a punch. But number two, it's going to give you that quick reminder that I am an energy being. I have an aura, I am divine, and that's way better than being special. If you think this stuff is cool, you should stay tuned for more Trinity.